What do you think about humanity in terms of going forward with the future?
Well, I think there's always going to be a humanity, you know, and I don't, you know, despite us becoming more AI-centric, more computer-centric, and despite the lack of, in some aspects, one-on-one communications like the one we're having now,
right.
you know, having conversations,
right.
I don't think will completely be a thing of the past. And the reason of that is that there is something to being human, and there is an aspect that's fundamental to medicine, and that's humanity, you know, is that we actually ultimately care about one another. You know, if I was operating on a Meccano set or, you know, a lab rat or something like that, it's not the same effect as when you're operating on a human being, because there is something to being human.
Right.
And I think medicine is a great example of that, because no robot can give you that sense of humanity almost by definition. And so as things change in the future, as we see more automation, and despite us seeing less one-on-one communications like this that we're having, and people, as you know, always Snapchatting and texting on their phones, and a more disengaged type of a relationship, if you will, I think that there's always going to be a need for humanity. I think there's nothing like the human touch, a pat on the shoulder, a hug, a thank you, you know, those sorts of things define who we are.
The reason that the more immediate technology interactions are so popular and are kind of overshadowing human interaction is because they're immediate. You always have it, and there's a distance between you and the other person, so it's safer.
Right.
And I think that the way to beat that and to bring back the one-on-one interaction is, well, like what you said about the lab rat versus the human, right? You're going to be driven more. You're going to study longer when you know there's something really important happening with the human surgery. Similarly, the deeper, higher, better thing that happens with real interaction can win if people feel that and know what one feels like compared to the other. That itself also, when people are more connected with each other, truly connected. And I think that the technology does help connections, and then it also helps it lack of connection too. The more connected people are, the better everything becomes. The more we care about each other.
Right. I mean,
which leads to geographical, societal, national, better things, a better world.
Oh, for sure. And I think that, you know, digital ways of connection through social media have changed the landscape of the planet, and truly, if you can say, have made things more global. They have. But when we try to divorce ourselves from human interaction and instead become attached to less direct, disengaged forms of communication, then I think it can backfire and be a bad thing. And in that way, some types of media communication are not always healthy. And I think we have to always remember that there is something to being human, and it's the most important element that keeps us together.
Is that your favorite part of the job, the talking?
Absolutely. I love communicating, chatting with patients, and being able to have the privilege of operating on them, for example, to remove cancers and potentially curing them of something like that, and to have conversations before and after surgery, and to see them along the way in life is it's the most rewarding part of my specialty.
Well, thanks to you, we have, I'm sure, a lot more humans that are still here who can be having human interactions and human touch and part of the big humanity. So thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate it.
Great time.